Okay, guys, so today I pretty much just wanted to talk to you about my favorite video game series, and that is, of course, the Jak and Daxter series. And I really love these games. These really, shaped my childhood and stuff. That they were amazing. I really love them. I don't know when the first one, this one right here, I don't know when it actually came out, but I know I played it when I was little on PlayStation 2, and it was pretty awesome. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into the video. Now, to start off, as you see, the one on the left is actually Daxter, actually the little orange animal that you see on the character's shoulder, and the right is actually Jak. He's the main character, of course. Both of them actually the main character, characters, but still. Actually, they go to Misty Island, and Daxter ends up falling in some dark eco, and dark eco usually either bends the person, it pretty much either destroys anything, or pretty much bends them to darkness. Now, to pretty much get a holding on what eco is, green eco is pretty much dealing with health. It can pretty much nurse you back to health. Blue eco can make you go fast. It speeds things up, sometimes used as energy. Red eco pretty much is strength. It just makes you stronger. Yellow eco is pretty much it's almost kind of like a fireball, but you can pretty much shoot it. And dark eco is anything that's fundamentally dark. It can destroy and it can warp, and that's pretty much what it does. So Daxter actually ends up falling in some dark eco, and instead of being destroyed or warped, honestly, he just turns into this little oxel. And we don't really know why, but throughout the story, it's basically trying to go to the dark eco sage to pretty much change him back. So throughout the story, there's a whole lot of stuff that goes on, but fundamentally, it's a pretty fun adventure. And as we learn at the end of near the end of the story, that the sages over the dark eco are actually evil. Which, honestly, in any story, anybody over something dark is pretty much going to be evil. But still, the sages over the dark eco, they pretty much kidnap the other sages and try to use their eco and the eco that they already have to pretty much take over everything. And of course, the main hero Jak and his friend Daxter on his shoulder, they pretty much stop them. And honestly, it's a pretty wild ride. I really do like this game. I mean, you have a lot of stuff, like for the first series, it was pretty amazing. Like here, it's not just about like this stuff that you just see here. It's not just that Kira, actually Jak, we actually don't know where he's from in the first game. I do, because I played all four, actually all five, but the fifth one I didn't like. But we actually don't know where he's from, but he's actually pretty much just been raised with her under the green sage, Kira's dad. And yeah, Jak and Kira, they like each other, but they kind of don't want to admit it. But in the future, they do actually get together. But still, yeah, she pretty much makes, like, I guess the first actual hover bike, if you want to say. I mean, it pretty much is a hover bike. And we actually learn that at the end of the game, they actually open a door. And to open a door, you need power cells. Now, throughout the game, Jak actually he pretty much gathers them. But not just to power the bike. I mean, he does need to get some power cells to power the bike, but power cells are pretty much a really fundamental key of powering stuff. They're just really high on power. But he collects them because the door at the end of the game needs actually 100 power cells to open. And I think the bike only needed like 3 or like 4 or 5 or something. And it's they like did some stuff where you could have to do these dashes through the valley and dodge stuff, and maybe it blow up or something. But still, it's a pretty good invention for their, I guess, not necessarily their time, but just living in the wilderness kind of. I mean, you're pretty much just around the beach and stuff. You wouldn't really think of somebody actually building a hover bike. But then again, there's ecos that you can. Oh yeah, and the ecos, you can, like the yellow eco as you see here, you can actually blast the yellow eco and stuff. Red eco makes you stronger. Green eco refills your health bar. Dark eco is pretty much just touching you get destroyed usually. And blue eco pretty much makes you run fast, and sometimes it runs some machines, but that's mainly where you see in like a blue ecosystem, I guess. You mainly see a lot of machines sometimes running on blue eco. I mean, sometimes, but still. But yeah, I honestly love this series. It's amazing. I'm actually gonna do a video. My next video is gonna be on Jak 2. It's not Jak and Daxter 2. It's pretty much just Jak 2 because it goes into his past and origins and you actually get to find out where he's actually from, why he's so important, why he's the main character, and it was just developed wonderfully. I'm just telling you, you guys gotta actually play it. I even referred one of my friends to go buy it, and they actually did get it, because actually this game did get remastered on the PS4, and not too recently. It happened like a few years ago, but yeah, it actually did get remastered, so you can actually go get it. It's not just on PS2. And don't worry, it's a bundle pack. They have Jak and Daxter Recursive Legacy, which is of course the first game, Jak 2, Jak 3, and Jak X Combat Racing, which is the fourth game in the series. Now they don't have the fifth game because it was made by a different company. It didn't sell as well, and I honestly did not like the game. Now as a little kid, I saw, oh wait, yeah, it's the fifth game in the series, but it honestly was a bad game. It was terrible. They didn't have the energy like the others did. Now, with the fundamental stuff like vehicles, I will get into that on the next video, talking about Jak 2, because that's when vehicles become pretty much, not, I won't say every day, but it becomes, pretty natural to use a vehicle in this game. And I'll also, tell you the other backstory stuff about why Jak 2 matters so much, and how he goes into Jak 3 and what Jak and Daxter really are. Because as we know, because Daxter did touch some of the Dark Eco, he should have been destroyed or pretty much warped evilly, but he wasn't. And to be warped evilly, you have to be something like a creature or something. You can't just be like a person. But he actually should have been destroyed. And there are pretty much like some containers, like as you see here in the middle of the floor, like containers like that. It kind of has some writing on the side of it, but only containers like that can pretty much like hold Dark Eco, because that's Dark Eco, that purple stuff that you see. Well, actually, that's true and everything, but you actually learn why Daxter is the way he is in the third game, which I will get into it and stuff, but I think I can still tell you by, the second video that I'm going to make. But honestly, you just gotta go get this, series. It's amazing. For its time, it was really good. Now, you can compare it to Crash Bandicoot all you want, but I think this was pretty much better. I know some of you will be like, no, nothing can compare or, be better than Crash Bandicoot. Of course, some of the games now, yeah, but I mean, you know what I mean. Especially, not necessarily recently, but, they even remastered that. And with that out, it's like, I don't see how. It kind of looks the same. It doesn't really look the same. I think you can do a lot more here, honestly. I think Crash Bandicoot will kind of be like, you can compare it to, I think, like Donkey Kong or something. Maybe that. Well, I don't really like Donkey Kong that much, but gameplay wise, you could probably compare it to that. But also, as you see here, when the ecos combine, they actually make a new eco, which is a light eco, and you actually get more into light eco during the third game. Honestly, it's like, well, why didn't they do that? As of now, Daxter was actually able to transform back into human with it. And I know it was a really hard thing for Daxter to pretty much pass up that opportunity, to either, be turned back into a human or just save the world. And, he ended up letting Jak use it to save the world, as you're going to pretty much see here right now. But, yeah, it was a pretty good thing to do, because honestly, Daxter is pretty much, Jak and Daxter are pretty much buddies. They were pretty much basically raised together, honestly. But, yeah, yeah, it's pretty good. And, besides from grunts and stuff from this game, you actually hear Jak talk in the second, third, and fourth. Of course, the fifth game, but I don't like referring to the fifth game because I didn't really like it. But as you see, light eco is pretty powerful. It really is. I guess it's 4 ecos combined. But yeah. Oh, and those people were in that pod. They are just filling the dark eco. Those were the sages, and these are the actual other sages that you see here. And of course, Jak and Daxter are doing their little victory dance because they just saved the day. Now, like I said, the game doesn't just take place in the little wilderness or anything. It goes to many places. It goes to a lot of places. I know they go to like a spider cave, a lava tube. They actually go a lot of places. I forgot honestly all where they go to, but I really recommend you guys to really get this series of games. And this next image will say why. So here's why I kind of was comparing it to Crash Bandicoot because Jak and Daxter series was made by Naughty Dog. You have Crash, you have Jak and Daxter, you have Uncharted, you have The Last of Us, and honestly, Naughty Dog is one of the best video game companies out there to me. I highly recommend Naughty Dog to anyone. But yeah, that's the type of stuff we're going on right here. And I know you're like, well, if the series was made by Naughty Dog, why wasn't the last game? Well, the last game was going to be made anyway, but Naughty Dog wasn't able to make it because I think they were making the first Uncharted. So another company took it under their mantle to make it, and they failed hard. It did not get too many reviews that were good, and it was honestly a failure. It didn't have the same energy that the other games really gave off, which was pretty disappointing to game players of who really did like the series. But I mean, it is what it is, honestly. And yeah, I mean, I think they did. Well, actually, yeah, they did make a standalone Daxter game on PSP. You know, Jak was in it like a little bit, but you pretty much just play as a Daxter. But yeah, that's it. So guys, subscribe to my channel, like the video, and yeah, see you guys later. Next video.